One of the lesser-known groups among the world's jihadis, and yet one of the largest and most interesting, is Tablighi Jama'at, a global Muslim missionary and revival movement that claims more than 70 million followers in 80 countries around the world. Tablighi Jama'at matters because so many jihadis who wind up with other violent jihadi groups begin their journey with TJ. In fact, Tablighi Jama'at has been likened to a gateway drug to jihad, or maybe a conveyor belt to jihad. TJ-affiliated members, students, teachers, and mosques have been at least loosely connected to a number of recent terror attacks, including in San Bernardino, California, and Orlando, Florida. So, what is this rather secretive group all about? Well, Tablighi Jama'at emerged from the Deobandi Revivalist School of Islam in 1926 on the Indian subcontinent. It was founded by Maulana Muhammad Ilyas al-Kandhawi, a son in a family of distinguished Indian Sufi scholars. In setting out the ideology for his new movement, Ilyas demanded a strict traditional approach to the orthodox practice of Islam, but with a loose, decentralized governance over those who follow it. Although orthodox in its teaching of Islamic doctrine, which of course includes jihad, TJ preaches nonviolence in practice, at least as a stage in the journey of devout Muslims who first need to return to a basic faithful practice of Islam. One of TJ's identifying requirements for its followers is to carry the message of authoritative Islam to other Muslims, hence the missionary role, which sends TJ acolytes around the world to proselytize to less than observant Muslims. Despite the size of its fluid membership, followers seem free to come and go, and the actual extent of its global reach, little is known about the inner workings of Tablighi Jama'at. The lack of strict top-down controls on its millions of followers and the details about its membership and their activities are closely held secrets. The organization reveals only the bare bones of its philosophy and its mission to the public. What is clear, however, is that TJ commands a global reach and that everywhere its lax controls allow access to recruiters for hardcore, violent jihadi groups. That nexus that Tablighi Jama'at provides between the preaching and the fighting roles within Islam is the subject of the Center for Security Policy's second volume in our new Terror Jihad series, and seeks to provide a better understanding of the full scope of the jihadi threat to America. Entitled Tablighi Jama'at, Gateway to Jihad, this well-documented volume by author Ilana Friedman draws from extensive research to bring the reader a fresh and clear picture of the role that Tablighi Jama'at plays in the overall world of Islamic jihad. The story of Tablighi Jama'at's Gateway to Jihad is a fascinating one and should be required reading for all those striving to understand the full scope of the threat that Islamic jihad poses to America's national security. Ilana Friedman's new monograph helps explain at least one of the sources of the seemingly endless flow of jihadi recruits and the channels through which a steady stream of new Islamic terrorists can be recruited and directed. Knowing this enemy is the first step. This is a battle we cannot lose.